Welcome to Brat Pop, where we dive deep into the stories behind your pop culture obsessions. And today we're tackling the question that's divided music fans for years. Who really rules K-pop? BTS or BLACKPINK? They're the two biggest names in music worldwide. They've broken records that stood for decades. They've mobilized armies of fans that could populate small countries. And for nearly a decade, they've been locked in a rivalry that's defined a generation of pop culture. Is this competition healthy, toxic, manufactured, or is it the engine that's propelled K-pop to global domination? Grab your popcorn, Brat Pack. Today we're serving the tea on the ultimate pop culture showdown, BLACKPINK versus BTS. Now, let's get one thing straight up front. This isn't about declaring one group better than the other. That's a meaningless argument that ignores how these two acts have taken dramatically different paths to global superstardom. This is about understanding how their rivalry, both real and perceived, has shaped the modern music landscape and created one of the most fascinating dynamics in pop history. From streaming records to Fashion Week appearances, from Grammy nominations to Coachella performances, BTS and BLACKPINK have redefined what it means to be a global pop act in the 21st century. So let's break down how this rivalry began, how it evolved, and what it tells us about the future of music. To understand the present, we have to go back to the beginning. BTS debuted in 2013 under HYBE, then Big Hit Entertainment, a relatively small company at the time. Their early concept leaned heavily into hip-hop and socially conscious lyrics about the struggles of youth. 3 years later, in 2016, BLACKPINK debuted under YG Entertainment, one of K-pop's big three companies known for their quality over quantity approach. Their concept was sleek, high fashion, and powerful from day one, with their debut single Boom Baya immediately making waves. The timing is crucial here. By the time BLACKPINK arrived, BTS had already begun building their international fan base, but hadn't yet broken through in America. This meant both groups were ascending simultaneously on the global stage, creating natural comparisons. The rivalry narrative intensified as both groups began achieving unprecedented milestones for K-pop acts. BTS became the first K-pop group to perform at the Grammy Awards, while BLACKPINK became one of the first to perform at Coachella. These parallel achievements, while different in nature, fueled constant comparison. When it comes to their actual music and artistic direction, BTS and BLACKPINK couldn't be more different. And that's exactly why both have found massive success. BTS built their career on authenticity and personal connection. Their early work featured heavy involvement in songwriting and production, with themes focusing on mental health, societal pressure, and self-love. This authenticity fostered incredibly deep connections with their fan base, the ARMY. Their sound has evolved significantly over the years, incorporating pop, EDM, R&B, and even traditional Korean elements. But throughout their discography, they've maintained this through line of personal storytelling and vulnerability. BLACKPINK, meanwhile, perfected the girl crush concept with a luxury aesthetic. Their music emphasizes empowerment, confidence, and high fashion, with each member representing major luxury brands. Where BTS offers relatability, BLACKPINK offers aspiration. Musically, BLACKPINK works primarily with international hitmakers, creating a polished, high-energy EDM-infused sound designed for maximum impact. Their title tracks follow a similar formula that's proven incredibly effective, with explosive choruses and rap verses that highlight each member's strengths. These different approaches are reflected in their commercial performance too. BTS dominates album sales with over 350 million records sold, thanks to their dedicated fan base and frequent releases. BLACKPINK, with their strategic scarcity model, has sold approximately 90 million albums, but dominates YouTube with higher subscriber counts and massive view numbers. Beyond the music, the BTS versus BLACKPINK narrative is deeply intertwined with their respective business strategies and how they've built their brands. BTS's company HYBE has focused on fan-centric engagement through their proprietary platform Weverse, where fans can connect directly with artists through paid subscriptions. This creates incredible loyalty and consistent revenue streams beyond music. Their brand partnerships have been diverse, targeting different consumer segments with accessible pricing. This approach aligns with their image as artists connected to their fans. BLACKPINK's YG Entertainment has taken a completely different approach, positioning them as luxury icons. Each member serves as ambassador for major fashion houses: Jisoo for Dior, Jennie for Chanel, Rosé for Tiffany & Co., and Yves Saint Laurent, and Lisa for Celine and Bulgari. Their release strategy follows a strategic scarcity model, less frequent comebacks that become major events. This maintains their aura of exclusivity and allows for extensive solo activities between group promotions. These approaches extend to touring as well. BTS tours more frequently with fan-friendly pricing, while BLACKPINK's selective tour strategy creates higher demand per show. In 2024, BTS attracted over 2.3 million concert attendees compared to BLACKPINK's 1.8 million, but BLACKPINK's luxury positioning allows for premium pricing. Beyond sales numbers and chart positions, both groups have had profound cultural impacts that extend far beyond music. Though in very different ways, BTS has leveraged their platform for social messaging, partnering with UNICEF for their Love Myself campaign and addressing the United Nations on youth empowerment. Their influence has been recognized by the South Korean government for spreading Korean culture overseas. BLACKPINK has made waves as cultural ambassadors of a different kind, breaking into Western mainstream consciousness through Coachella performances, collaborations with artists like Lady Gaga and Selena Gomez, and high fashion integration. Their social media dominance also reflects their different approaches. BTS leads on engagement-focused platforms like Twitter and Spotify, while BLACKPINK dominates visual platforms like YouTube. Perhaps most significantly, both groups have become massive economic forces. BTS is estimated to add $5 million annually to South Korea's economy, while BLACKPINK's luxury partnerships have made them fashion industry icons. Together, they've helped K-pop become a $12.4 billion industry that outperforms traditional exports like household appliances. Now, we can't talk about this rivalry without discussing the engines that power both groups, their famously dedicated and occasionally contentious fan bases. BTS fans are known as ARMY, while BLACKPINK fans are called Blinks. Both fandoms are known for their organizational skills, streaming power, and fierce loyalty. At their best, these fandoms have achieved remarkable things, from breaking streaming records to organizing massive charity initiatives. But there's also a darker side to this rivalry, with fan wars often erupting on social media over chart positions, awards, and achievements. These conflicts often intensify during comeback seasons when both groups release new music. The recent clash between BTS's return from military hiatus and BLACKPINK's comeback after nearly 3 years apart has reignited these tensions, with fans declaring K-pop was boring without them. News clips about Indian and Pakistani tensions with overlays of fan comments. But occasionally, we see moments of unity that transcend the rivalry. Recently, Indian armies and Blinks set aside their differences amid rising tensions between India and Pakistan, declaring that India comes first and working together to combat misinformation. The fandoms also reflect the group's different appeal. ARMY tends to be more grassroots organized with intense engagement, while Blinks often align with fashion-forward culture. Both have developed distinct identities that reflect the artists they support. With all this talk of rivalry, one question inevitably comes up. Will we ever see a BTS and BLACKPINK collaboration? Fan hopes for collaboration spike whenever members are spotted together. Like when BTS's V and BLACKPINK's Lisa were seen interacting at Paris Fashion Week, other rumors have swirled about Jennie and Suga, though no collaborations have materialized. Realistically, a full group collaboration remains highly unlikely due to company competition, scheduling conflicts, and the immense pressure such a project would create. Both groups are strategic about their collaborations, and joining forces would create expectations that might be impossible to meet. That said, the possibility of smaller-scale collaborations, perhaps between individual members, remains a tantalizing possibility that keeps fans dreaming. For now, though, the rivalry narrative seems likely to continue. So, after all this analysis, where does that leave us in the great BTS versus BLACKPINK debate? The truth is, this isn't a zero-sum game. BTS and BLACKPINK have taken different paths to global domination because they're serving different purposes in the cultural landscape. BTS built the foundation through grassroots authenticity and frequent fan engagement, while BLACKPINK globalized the blueprint through luxury integration and strategic scarcity. Their rivalry, whether organic, manufactured, or somewhere in between, has ultimately been good for business, pushing both groups to innovate and break new ground. Together, they've expanded the boundaries of what K-pop can achieve and opened doors for the next generation of artists. Rather than viewing them as competitors, it's more accurate to see BTS and BLACKPINK as complementary forces that have collectively transformed Korean music into a global powerhouse. One couldn't have achieved what they did without the other pushing the boundaries. At the end of the day, whether you're ARMY, Blink, or just a music fan, we can all appreciate how both groups have made pop culture more exciting, diverse, and globally connected. Their legacy isn't about who won the rivalry, it's about how they changed the game forever.
What do you think? Is the BTS versus BLACKPINK rivalry real or manufactured? Who do you think has had the bigger impact? Let me know in the comments, and let's keep it respectful. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like this video, subscribe to BradPop, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next pop culture breakdown. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay bratty!